Hello, this is Cuckoo. Today I want to show you this drum machine. It's called Pocket Operator PO-32 by Teenage Engineering. But I want to mention Sonic Charge, because the Sonic Charge developer Magnus Lidström, he is the developer of this particular unit, the Tonic, and it's based on his drum machine called Microtonic. But it's such a different platform, so he had to reinvent all code. There is no common code between the software and the hardware, but they sound identical. So with the software you could create a whole new set of sounds, which, for instance, this one is like my first pack that I made for this, which I'm going to make available as well. And yeah, it's a super good drum machine. I'm gonna be bold here and say that this is probably one of the best drum machines, which is also one of the smallest, which is also one of the cheapest drum machines. It's really good and useful for both creating cool drum sounds and patterns, but also for performance. There are great performance tools in there. So what I'm going to do now is just show you how this works, and also how the software works, and how you get the sounds from the Microtonic software onto this machine, and also how you save the sounds in your phone, for instance, or in your computer, and you can store them as just audio recordings. It's like this modem sound, and yeah, and then send them to people. Ooh, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's get to it and see what it can do, and most of all, what it sounds like. Okay, so here we are, the Tonic PO-32 drum machine. The microphone is different, and the lock here is different in terms of hardware, from what we can see. The microphone is for listening to audio coming in with a data format, not for audio recording, but for transferring data patches and patterns into it, which I'm going to show you later. The lock is for making it sort of gig proof, I guess, or something. If you snap this one off, it's gonna remember the last state that was in it. Every time you insert new battery, it's gonna be exactly like when it was at the time when you snap this off. So it's sort of a memory feature. But don't worry, if you accidentally break it, or if you want to break it, and then after some gigging you realize you want to change the memory, you can solder this together, these two areas there, and it'll be good as new again. So just a little feature there. Cool. And everything that the microphone can do can also be made through the audio import. So if you're in a very noisy environment and the microphone can't hear the data you're sending into it, plug it in like this. Okay, cool. So let's connect it. This is the audio output. There we go. So right now the sounds that are on it, first of all, we can hear it's very low, right? So how do we crank up the volume? The BPM is also the volume knob. So BPM, and you can see when the BPM is pressed, these diodes are lighting up. You can see the volume is at 5 now. We can crank it up to 8 like that, and it slides into a higher volume. If you want to do it like all the way up to 12 perhaps. Yeah, so now we've got a lighter volume. So right now, these are not factory presets. These are sounds that I put there. So for this tutorial, you're going to hear it with my sounds. I hope that's okay with you. So what does it sound like? Well, listen to this. I think it sounds really nice. The sound engine is very good. So every sound has, you see these two encoders, the A and the B. The A encoder is the pitch, and the B encoder is modulation. Because every sound has two states, and you can move between those two states. So Okay, so now let's think like this. Let's make a little sequence with these sounds. When I'm fiddling around with a sound like this, it remembers the last state that I left it with. So if I want to prepare like a kit that sounds where the sounds sound good together before I start programming, it's a good way to do it like this. Some hi-hat that can go into like a shaker. Some sort of bass, like a snare. Yeah, okay, let's say this is like a kit. Okay, a thing you should know before you start making sounds and making your own patterns is like, you see these white lines, the dividers, they actually tell you that these four share the same voice, these four share the same voice, and so forth. So you can only play 4 sounds at the same time. So this one is a long release one, but if you play something else on the same column, it will interrupt this one. Yeah. So if you're designing your own sounds, it's a good practice to think about what sounds are long and what sounds are short, and which sounds should be able to ring out while the hi-hat is playing, for instance. So you wouldn't want a long kick drum on the same channel as something like this, for instance. You would like it to ring like that. If it was here, yeah, you couldn't do that. So keep that in mind when you're designing your sounds and patterns and stuff. Okay, so we got a bunch of buttons here and a bunch of buttons here. Accent, effects, play, write, sound pattern, BPM. Let's make a little sound and see what we need to learn and what order we need to learn these functionalities. I'm going to lay out a kick drum. So I'm going to go to pattern. Let's pick this one, the hold down pattern, and you've got 16 patterns to choose from. I'm going to press play now and see what's in it. There's something in there. Let's clear it. So I'm going to hit accent and pattern. Doosh. It says del, which means delete. So I just deleted what's in there. This is very crucial because if you do this without knowing what it means, maybe you're searching for different functionalities, you will delete the current pattern that you're currently in. So keep that in mind. So now it's clear. Yeah, let's find a kick drum. This one. Okay. And there are 2 ways of selecting a sound. Either you just play it like this. I play it, and now this sound is selected. When I then press right, you can see this little record icon there pops up. You could also see this. It says edit. If you press it again, it says perform. Yeah. So when it's edit, you're actually able to program it. Okay. Edit, and I'm gonna put some kick drums there and press play. Yeah. So let's do another one. I exit edit and press another one. I enter edit again, and then we're in that track. I'm just gonna do like that. I missed one. We can hear there's something funky going on this one, right? It's like almost a really quick repeat. And actually, it is because even though I cleared it, the shuffle setting is still there. So the shuffle is way, way high right now. So where's the shuffle setting? Let's play it and I'll show you. Well, I can show you without playing. The BPM, when you press it and press the 1 through 16 is the volume. If you press it and use knob A, the first one, it's actually the shuffle setting. So now it's 0 shuffle. If you increase it, it's like it's
going up to 18. I don't know, let's keep it at 4 or something. Yeah. So let's, yeah. We can clearly hear the shuffle now, right? I'm gonna turn it down again. I think it was a bit too much. Maybe 1, just a tad of swing in there. Swing, shuffle, it's the same. Yeah, let's call it swing. I think it's called swing. So, and at the same time, if you're holding down the BPM knob, you have the you can set the BPM to whatever value you want. So the first one is shuffle or swing. The other one is the BPM. And if you just press it once, you could toggle between the internal 3 BPMs. So press it once, go to hip hop, disco, or tencho, which is the drunk tonic version of techno. So, or just go with something custom. $123, for instance. Okay, let's add some sort of, I don't know, bass in there. I'm gonna exit this and press another one. Okay, let's say this is like a bass. Don't. Okay, let's. And right now we've been going into the right menu mode and putting out trigs on the sequencer. The sequencer is going from 1 to 16. It's just 1 bar long. But there is a way to punch in notes as well. So let's try that. If I press and hold right, it says rec. So if I press and hold right, I can tap the nose into it. So let's play it and press and hold right. So, yeah. The same way, let's change the pitch. I'm gonna press and hold right. Yeah, you can also do it like in a traditional parameter lock fashion. You can press and hold it and change the value here. Press and hold, change the value. Yeah. Okay. Let's add a snare in there. I'm gonna, yeah, this one. And I told you there were like 2 ways of selecting sounds. Now I just exit right, find a sound, and then enter right again, and it's right there. But I can also press sound and select the sound, and then I'm there. So for instance, if I'm not in the right mode, I can select the sound silently. You can see here that it's being selected. So if I know that this is like the snare drum, I could do it silently. So, and then I can put it out there. I can go to the kick drum again. Yeah. Okay. Just to do something, I'm gonna add a clap in there. So the clap, where do I want it? I don't know. Tap. Okay, so this is like a straight rhythm with some sort of bass in it. Let's see how the effects work, because this is where like the performance magic happens. Press and hold the effects, and when you do that, while you're in rec mode, you will actually record all of your movements. If you're not in record mode, but in performance mode, it will not record the effects. So this is a change from the earlier versions of the pocket operators, and to the better, I think. The first one is sort of slowing it down and also pitching it down, which is a lot of fun. The second one, like some sort of overdrive distortion. The third one is just making everything longer, like some sort of reverb-ish thing. This one is sort of a delay on the beat that you press. And then it comes back again, which is kind of cool. You could do it like for a whole bar, like 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and do. And yeah, so it's in time with the beat. The next one, some sort of LFO behavior and pitch. That's kind of a sweep filter. And what's really cool about these effects, this is not like a master audio effect. These are actually going into each of the sounds and fiddling around with the parameters in the engine. So it's actually changing the synthesis, which I think is cool. And it's also leading them to be, in my opinion, a bit higher audio quality than what you'd expect, because it's not audio processing, it's more synthesis manipulation. Very cool. And the next one, yeah, similar, and like pitch up. This one is a bit, yeah, like noise in the beginning, and then yeah, sort of glitchy. Yeah, triplets. This is repeating the one you're pressing. This is doing that too, just a little bit faster. And this is really cool. And this is some sort of retrig, really fast retrig in the beginning of the sounds to make it glitchy. Yeah. And the next one, epic backwards reverse stuff. It's not really reverse, but it's sort of making slow attacks on everything and dragging it out and making some overdrive. I think it's very nice, very nice thing. And the last one, yeah. So those are the effects. I find them really cool to play around with. When you go into write mode, edit mode, and do these effect changes, play. Yeah, you're punching in these effects changes into the pattern. So that's the... But now when I exit the write mode and do that, I don't write them into the pattern. So that's a very, very good way to quickly change the aspect of the pattern you're playing. 2 and yeah. Yeah. So this is how it works basically. And so now let's try some other features. This is something I just made. Let's press pattern. We can see this is flashing. This is the pattern I've been working in. Now there's a way to copy this pattern. Let's press right and pattern, and it says dupe up there. It means duplicate. Right and pattern, and then press the destination. Now it just duplicated it. So let's do it again. Right and pattern, duplicate. So now we're also there. Accent and pattern is delete. Now it's empty. Let's go there again. Right there, pattern, right and pattern, and duplicate. Yeah. So if I start up here and I make some changes to make this like the beginning of a song. Let's see. I'm gonna clear the pattern with effect changes. And then I'm gonna change that bass to some. I'm just gonna delete it. Maybe I'm gonna change that bass drum. Maybe change up. Okay, I'm gonna go to the hi-hat and reduce it. Yeah, okay. And take away that clap. Maybe change the snare. Okay, so that is the beginning. Maybe I'll try some effects here and see if it feels right. I'm gonna exit right and okay, I'm gonna right here. Okay, it makes it more interesting. Okay, so this is the beginning. I'm now in pattern 9. I'm gonna go to pattern 10. I'm gonna exit right menu and do some. Pattern. Yeah. Another way to create a kind of a chain is to hold down pattern and dial in a little change. You can see there is like an L and then a numbering. It's actually counting, I don't know how many you can punch in, maybe 99. You're making a list of patterns and then it's going to move through it. So I could do like an intro here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it should play the intro like the low key version and then go into the high energy version. And at any time I can, go into right mode or not right. Okay, we're here now. We can jam over it with the 2 and yeah. 1, 2, 3 and yeah. So this is how it works. I think it's actually quite brilliant how it works. Okay, so what if you want to sync it to something? Well, different ways to sync it. The accent button here, followed by the BPM, is going through different sync modes. Sync 1 and sync 0. If you connect something here, more options will be available. So sync 0 is no sync. Yeah. But sync 1 is sending out sync on one channel and the music on the other channel. Yeah. And so what if we connect something here? Well, let's do that. I prepared this little machine here. Let's see. Okay, so let's grab the sync and put it here. We can hear that it's immediately starting to send the sync. Because that's how the Volca works. It's sending sync all the time, even though it's just not playing. Okay, so so now the different sync modes. There are more sync. You can see there are more options now. 1, 2. We can see it's receiving sync there. It's blinking. It's flashing. This one is probably not the one. It's also sending it over. This is, perhaps this is the one. Sync 2 or sync 4. So now if I change the sync. Yeah. So if I want to play this in sync, then 3 and. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. Now, if you'd like to back this up, how would you do that? There is a feature for that. There's one way to get this to listen to incoming audio through the microphone or the incoming the line input. And there is a way to send an audio footprint of everything that's in here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start that now. If you press right and then press sound, it will start sending a data audio file for the sounds and the patterns. And this can be recorded with any recorder, audio recorder, and then transmitted back to another unit or to this unit. So if I press right and sound, it will sound like this. I want to start going through all of these and then as the sounds, and then we'll start going through all of them again for the patterns. So sounds and pattern data will be transmitted over audio. So how do you record that? With anything. Now, this for instance, let's do. So this is an iPhone. It's in frame, and I'm going to use this voice memos app. It's just a regular voice memo recording app, and I'm going to record it. So now I disconnected it. I could do over a proper audio interface and stuff to make sure that it's going to be recorded right. But let's do it over, through the air. So what I could do now is to do this right and sound. and it's playing like that. And I know that the speaker on this machine is actually on the back, so behind the batteries, I think. So if you hold the battery part close to the microphone of what you're recording in this case, in the iPhone, the microphone is right there. So I'm going to keep it like close to the microphone like this. So let's record. Okay, so there we are. Recorded this whole sound. I'm gonna press done here and name it like something Tonic Rec 3. Yeah, same. So now listen to this now. Yeah, there it is. You can probably hear it through. I got like a voice microphone, so it sounds a bit distant. So this should be enough. When you're recording, the reason to hold it close to the microphone is that the more room and ambience and reflections and EQ of the room is transmitted into the audio file, the higher the chances that the data is going to be a bit damaged. So if it's very close to the microphone, chances are that it won't be affected. There won't be any errors. So how do you receive it then? Well, there's a similar, like write and sound is sending. Accent and sound is receiving. And play is exit. So where's the input? Well, the microphone is right here. So let's see if we can actually play back this file. So the speaker of this device is right here. So I'm going to keep the speaker close to the microphone to avoid that same room ambient noise stuff. Okay, let's try that. Let's see. Accent and sound, and then play this. And there you go. So that was like the confirmation sound. If there's some error happening on the way, if there's like a bad recording, holding it too far away into my ambient noise or interfering sounds, you will get like this. It will cancel. And if it's in a noisy environment, you should do it really through the audio jack. So now we have this. Yeah. So it just transmitted, in this demonstration, it's the same sound and the same patterns that just came back again. So I didn't really demonstrate that it actually worked, but it really works. This is how it works. It's very simple. So yeah, cool. So what I want to show now, it's going to take a little while, I think, is to show you the engine behind it, the Microtonic software. And it's a really good drum machine, but I'm going to have to show you on the computer. It's a computer app. And I think you can still buy these, the Tonic and the Microtonic, at a bundle price. I think so. Otherwise, go to Sonic Charge and see what's the current deal for my PO-32 owners, if they get a discount or how it works. But anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so this is the Sonic Charge Microtonic. This is the software that is the foundation of the pocket operator PO-32. And this is how you create patches. First of all, there are several menus. These menus, this menu. This is the standalone. It's actually available as a VST as well, but this is a standalone version. Okay, so this is the whole kit. This is each sound. So if I go here to the kit and say initialize preset, now it's totally blank. You can see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's only 8 sounds. So if you're going to fill up the tonic, you need to do 2 of these, because there is currently no 16, no version with 16 sounds in one go. So if I press the buttons here on the keyboard, it's the same as using the mouse and clicking here, which I find terribly cumbersome. So I use this instead. So it's just a faster way to preview the sound. So first of all, I'll try to make a kick drum. This, by the way, this synth engine is the same engine for all of the type of sounds you want to use or make. It's the same engine. So it's very flexible in terms of making drum sounds, but sometimes it can be tricky to understand how one engine can, how you can achieve so many different sounds with just one engine. But I'm going to try to make a few examples here. So, how do we make a kick drum? First of all, we need to tune it down so it sounds lower, right? For instance, oscillator, noise, somewhere here we need to pitch it down. So the oscillator, let's tune it down. Currently it's right in the middle. We can hear there is a lot of noise in there as well. Let's make the noise, let's turn it off for a second. This is a mixer between the oscillator sound and the noise sound. Only noise, only oscillator. Let's have a tad of noise in there. Okay, how do we make the noise slower, shorter? Well, the noise section is over here, so we can see there is like a decay rate over here. So you turn it down. This is very, very short. It sounds almost like some sort of kick already, doesn't it? Let's also distort it a little bit. Distortion is some sort of overdrive, digital, of course. Let's try that. I think it sounds nice. Yeah. There's also a little EQ here. You can select the frequency and then gain that frequency. So let's turn gain up. We can hear there's a frequency right in the middle somewhere. That's the bass frequency we're using right now. It could also reduce, it's like a negative EQ. Let's add some there. Maybe tune it down even more. And lower the EQ frequency. Boost it. Reduce it. Distort. Yeah. So there is also, the oscillator has a decay, attack and decay. Let's turn up the decay and see what it sounds like. And turn it down. Now, the sonic charged microtonic is actually it's usually a software drum machine, but when you're preparing sounds for the PO-32, you will have like another objective in mind. How do I make something that's cool to sequence and process live, for instance, or to access with hardware? Whereas, and also the constant change per tone with this, with the morph. So in the software version, the morph is just, it's morphing between all the parameters on the whole kit. But where on this one is morphing between every single sound. So it's in a way more advanced in the hardware. So how do we morph? Well, pay attention to this. This is like a level, it's called sound morph. And right now it's all the way to the right, which means I have actually been editing the right sound state. If I start to move this now, coming to this state. Perhaps I clicked there by mistake, I'm not sure. So if I want to copy this state to this state, I can do that. Down here, I could say copy drum patch. Actually, there are two patches, like one patch in this state and another patch in this state. So go here again, paste drum patch. There is the same now. So if the left one is like the leftmost one state on this, sorry, and the right one is where you turn it clockwise. So if I want the left one to be like the kind version of this drum, perhaps even less decay, even less of an EQ frequency boost, and then when I turn it to the right, I want to gradually make it fatter and fatter, like more distortion, longer decay, perhaps more noise, I'm not sure. Longer decay on the noise. Let's see. Yeah? Okay, so that could be like sound number 1 here. Sound number 2. Let's see. Let's copy this. You know, because earlier when I did like create new initialize preset, I only did it on the right side. I didn't initialize a preset on the left side. So it's a bit, you need to think about this when you operate this editor. I'm going to copy this, copy drum patch to the left. Paste drum patch. Okay, let's make like a snare drum and see. This, how to go from here. We want some noise in there, maybe a little bit less. We want to tune down. So how about change the color of the noise? How do I do that? Let's see, we go to this noise and do filter. And this is the resonance of that. And this is the type of the filter. Okay, a little less decay. Do some more distort here. Yeah, sort of snare drum-ish. Let's also reduce the decay. Both of them. Yeah, it's sort of like a snare drum. Okay, I'm going to copy this left state, copy drum patch, and go to the right state and paste it. And then make like an even fatter version of that snare drum. More distortion. A bit longer. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try some stuff here. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I applied, actually this is like a pitch modulation, and you can select different kinds of pitch modulation. This is an LFO kind of vibrato style. The top one is a sort of, what do you call it? Decaying pitch modulation mode. This one, and the last one is sort of noise, random. Okay, let's see what happens now. Yeah, I did something wrong there. maybe I did a cut, paste, drum patch. And with command, I can reset these values and make it shorter again. Let's see. So when I'm moving between two states, all of these, the ones that are going up and down and have a value, they slide between two values. But these that has like a definite position, they also change. So of course they don't move between them, but right, look at this now. So when I'm turning over to midway, it's jumping over to, it's switching over to the other different ones. Yeah, okay. Next one, I'm gonna reset this. Reset, initialize. Let's make a hi-hat or a metallic sound. This is, I said up front, this is actually a bit confusing and a bit difficult, and requires patience and, patience. It's not difficult, it requires patience. So the way to make a metallic sound is mostly through FM synthesis. FM synthesis is like mixing one oscillator with a second oscillator that is really fast to kind of create metallic tones that way. And you're doing it through FM modulation, so basically applying a super fast vibrato to the other sound. Now you could do that here. Let's try it. So first of all, I'm going to turn off the noise for now. And right now, we're hearing just the waveform here. I'm going to make it longer. And these, the pitch modulation, if I change the amount here now, this is changing the pitch over time. The second one is the one we used before, vibrato kind of. So what if I turn up the rate on the vibrato? Now listen to this. Now it's becoming so fast, the vibrato. And so it's creating metallic overtones. And sometimes they sound just freaky, and sometimes they sound like something bell-like. And if you keep searching, different combination of the oscillator frequency and the rate, the speed of this pitch modulation, you can find something suitable for a hi-hat. Something. Let's keep searching for a while. Okay, so let's mix back the noise in now and see if we can get something from that. Perhaps bandpass mode or a low pass. Filter to change the resonance. I told you it required patience, right? This is patience. It's just searching. Yeah. Okay, let's say this one is okay for now. So a good thing is to always check the sound in relation to the other sounds to see if they mix well together. Perhaps shorter. I'm gonna see some distortion does to it. EQ, reduce. Make it shorter. Okay, so let's copy this. Copy drum patch to the other state. Paste drum patch. And make a version of it like. Maybe even change some fundamental. Yeah. Okay, let's make like a tonal sound now. I don't know, like a synth sound. Okay. I'm gonna lower the frequency a bit. More decay. Some vibrato. Slower. Some distortion. Or another waveform. Triangle. Yeah, this. Okay, it's time for this sound. Maybe less of that vibrato. Shorter decay. Shorter decay on this. Less distortion. Maybe some EQ gain in the bass. Too much. Maybe here. Reduce the EQ maybe. I find that if you're increasing EQ at some places, you will definitely almost always interfere with vocals. It sounds cool, but if you want to be kind to vocalists, you can achieve cool sounds by reducing EQ here and there to give room for vocals. I mean, it depends on what frequencies you're boosting and reducing, but so this makes it a bit more kind, even when it's distorted. Reduce some EQ in this spot. So maybe I take that sound. Okay. So the noise. So this is the left one. Copy this patch. Copy drum patch. Paste drum patch. I'm on the right. Yeah. Paste drum patch. On this right side. Okay. Yeah, it sounds a bit similar. Maybe I'll do something drastic. Change this. Okay, if you save a kit here, if I go to this menu, which is this is the kit, this is the sound, I can save each individual sound, but I could also save each individual kit. So if I save the kit here, save preset as Microtonic demo 1. As I fade over to this place, this is not Microtonic demo 1. This is a totally different kit. So if I save this, I know that I'm safe. Demo 2. Iconic 1B actually. It should be like A and B. So now I've saved two patches. So every time I'm saving in this menu, I need to save twice. Otherwise, it'll be gone. Otherwise, one of the sides, like the A or the B, will be forgotten, which is very, very important, because if you forget it, it's like a bummer the next time you're going to load it up. But in the standalone version that I'm using now, further up here in the file menu of Microtonic, you can actually export the whole state of the whole plugin. So if I do that, I actually just need to save it once. So Microtonic demo complete. Okay. So this is the place if you want to export both the left and the right state. Just super important to know. Okay, so now let's say we're happy with this kit and we want to get it over to the Tonic. How do we do that? Well, there is a little Teenage Engineering logo up here. Yeah, you can see it right here. If I press that, we get into this mode, the PO-32 mode. So now if I do this, it's probably going to be horribly loud. Click destination button below. Yeah, so I could send one sound over if I want to. In this one, transfer sound mode. But in this mode, like, you send a whole batch of 8 sounds, and you can select here where you want them to send. If you want them on the lower half of it, or if you want them on the upper half of it. So, okay, I'm going to receive sound now. So I'm going to press accent and sound, and it's now listening for this data format. And then I'm going to press transfer and put this close to the loudspeaker. And now we go. I'm going to connect it. And the sounds might at first sound a little bit different, but that is because you have the pitch parameter here, which you don't have, I think, in the Microtonic software. So yeah, so there you go. This is how you do it. I'm gonna put it there, and then I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, so this is Cuckoo, and if you like what I do here on YouTube, and if you found this video helpful, please consider throwing in some dollars here and there for me over at my Patreon channel. It's my main income right now, and it's so helpful for me when you donate. It's a subscription-based crowdfunding platform, and it works really, really well, I think. So thank you all for supporting me over Patreon. Truly, truly appreciate it. And also everyone who supports me there get access to most of my work. My patches and songs are going to come out very soon this year. And also for you who don't want to do like monthly subscriptions and monthly donations, which I totally respect, I'm also going to release a lot of stuff on my web store, which is also running. It's a good place to support me. Also a good place to get patches that sound cuckoo. Yeah. So all the links are available. You're going to pop up something right here in the screen, and you can click them to subscribe and stuff. And also there's going to be like links in the description and all of that jazz. So yeah, cool. Microtonic, PO-32, Teenage Engineering, Sonic Charge, Peace and Harmony. Peace out and stay cuckoo, everyone. Ask questions if you're wondering about something, and yeah, see you soon.